You're doing a good job. But stay on the Neptune. I wanted to talk more about Neptune. It's a very spiritual sign. See, if you are an Aries, well, we're in this together. You know, Neptune is going to go over your sun, but I'm going to experience it going over my ascendant. How do you like that? I could literally turn into a damn cartoon character. Neptune rules all of the mediums through which God is expressing. That's all I could say. And so it does rule television. What the whole like the mysteriousness of it. It's like it's so strange. Did you ever think I have thought about it throughout my entire life? I'm like, why aren't we talking about this every day? Like, how strange! And then look at the what computers are doing for us. I mean, but just in and as of what they are, it's like, my God, how amazing! It's totally fucking absolutely amazing, isn't it? I mean, that's all we can be is amazed. But see, the reason why, see, Neptune is the thing that it points at these things that are art forms and or mediums. You know, people. That's the word that um, comes up that a lot of people won't use or aren't using, and it's important to like dial in on me no matter what the weird face I come up with, which is a lot lately. I know when I go into a terrible face, like, you know what, you should never make that face ever again, because what if it sticks that way? And it's like, thank God for these baby cats, you know, they'll give me an authentic, joyous smile, you know, something that is gifted by God to me, just like, you know, pay attention to this a little bit, you know, because really we don't control this. It would be a terrible thing for me to fucking screw this up, see, but because it's bad enough that people around us, right? We talked about the assholes in the last video with this shirt on. Um, well, no, it's with the other shirt, but getting just almost as revealing. That backdrop system, those people, that thing is they're there to distract you from the fact that it's better than being Tesla. It's better than being Tesla. That you will discover that you yourself, and I think Tesla already knew this, but you are an electrical body. You are here to be, in a sense, turned on. And they do talk about it. If you're a hippie from the '60s, it's just that. But what do they talk? See, a lot of people just don't even know what they're talking about. Hippies do not know what they're talking about. No more than a Buddhist knows what they're talking about, or a Christian knows what they're talking about when they're talking about Christ, or you know, a Buddha knows what they're talking about when a Buddhist. Welcome to my, and also having the Neptune, Pluto going over my Mercury. I'm having a very difficult time with my mentality. And I was just on the tip here, minute 5. It was 4 minutes ago. That I was like, okay, talk about the love factor. How are you going to do it? How do you let love in? You know, what are you doing with that? You know, see, I don't think it means that you receive so-called support, but how about financial support from people that can care less about your lifestyle? How about your feelings as you're just a spiritual person? How about that you have something to contribute to that business there? If you had an innovation and it only helped them and you couldn't be appreciated, how about that? I mean, is it really worth it to get that money? A lot of people are like, yeah, that's a no-brainer. You just set yourself aside and do it. You know, and I call you a moral masochist because what if it gets down to, like, really, man, that is your fucking time being royally wasted. Those people can't even be your friend. Dead serious. Here, I am dead serious. See, I would love to let people in on my autobiography. I keep mentioning that. So that well, it's just so you can understand the uniqueness of my life and how I think that I'm on the verge. See, this is the thing, is I would love to get a little real support from people who can hear. really going as good as I am now, let's not ruin this moment. I do think that I need to move for a spiritual reason, and or maybe I don't. See, what I need to do is sit still. All of humanity needs to know that you don't control what's about to happen. As far as now, we are living in the most exciting times that we could ever dream of, or our parents or our grandparents could ever dream of. Um, because of this Neptune, all these planets moving into a new sign, the outer generational influential planets. It influenced it's marking the taste and the hue and the eras that we live in, and it's changing along. See, it's a people change, really, and getting back to the marvel of the technological advancements that are here, namely this here, the cameras that are making you see the the complaint about you people have a complaint about privacy, and you're really complaining about something being transparent. In a roundabout way, you are. You say no, we can't have that, like just everything exposed. And it's like, but the truth is, if you are alive long enough, if you're to be good to your individual self, like if you don't want to be reliable to yourself, let alone other people, and in case the kids are watching, you don't really practice censorship. There's a we can talk about this forever, but there's a certain kind of censorship that, of course, I would love to let you in. Like my example of my censorship is my life itself having gone into the mountains, which it's like, no, you see, I live just a couple hours away from Los Angeles. My my um, high school is where they filmed Back to the Future. I lived in the city once before, but see, I receded and I saw. I used to run for the hills anyway, and then I see. I love it up here, and of course, if it's an opportunity that I can say I can call it mine, hell yeah, I dreamt about it since I was 5, and it just unfolded to where it's like finally when I saw the chance to break away, and I didn't control that time, but um, but see, I didn't fluff off the opportunity. I spontaneously jumped on it when I was supposed to, and I managed to spend the duration of time that I was supposed to, which is pretty early. I don't want to talk about it here, really, because I would love to make the autobiography, and I want to talk about everything because I've observed some things. See, I'm an 11. I'm an Aries rising, so you can depend on me that I'll be kind of. If anything, I'll tell you a good story and be as. See, I can't possibly make some things up, right? When it comes to some things and how I can probably tie it into um, the time era that we're living in, like what we've been through so far, like generationally, really, it's if not the past 3 years, 10 years, but let's talk about 35 years, and did we now where are we with our so-called focus? But really, focus is hocus pocus. What you want to do is get into your meditative mind, and for sure, were you able to ask questions? I was just thinking of that today. I do not like to be around people who don't ask questions. I don't mind peaceful people. See, if that's the question, like Shauna, do you like to just be agitating all the time with wonder and mystery and explanations and analyzations and arguments and agreements? And it's like, no, we are celebrating here, and if there's something too like stoic, I can't do it. I'm sorry, I can't do non-expression. Basically, I can't do non-communicative things. Uh, Pardon my stupid route that I go. Pluto square my Mercury is apt to shorten up some words, get even some weird facial expressions going for sure, because Mercury does rule Gemini, and I have Mercury conjunct Uranus. It squares my Mercury Uranus conjunction. I'm not saying it right. I have a profound trippy aspect with the 26, 28 Uranus Mercury conjunction. at the late degree of Libra, and it points at every bit, if we can protect ourselves enough. I'm supposed to write a book. I'm supposed to write several books because of how observant I am and how important I know. I've known it since I was a kid. When I'm playing music and I'm doing that for myself, and I'm like, wait a minute, no, this is to share to people, and if anything, you leave your mark here, and it's not a narcissist. It's just saying this is who I am, and read it and weep. And it's about the journey. It's not about getting that standing ovation. Although I fucking I get standing ovations, baby. Where I'm at up here, you wouldn't know that, and I've had to learn something very spiritual. And getting back to our spiritual lives and mine, I was trying to talk about Neptune, and I talked about it in my last video with the same shirt. And it's I'll try to talk about it more, but the main thing is to get the right support. What I mean is the financial thing. See, that I don't want to lose my means through which that I am remaining in meditation enough to be all that I can be, right? Find my future in meditation. Because the ones that, and it's very possible that it's just too late. I've already done enough. There isn't any way we're going to stop it. That it's just going to happen. The universe removes everything in your way. In fact, is putting things in your way so that it wakes you up towards your greater good, or manifestation of what the greater version of you. And man, with this Neptune on over my ascendant, see, I know how vital it is. It's like, no, see, the road that I would rather go is the high road, which is the one that is of my life as an artist, as an intuitive period. I've been an intuitive musician. I'm an intuitive astrologer. I'm an intuitive, like, daily life liver. I'm liver. I am an intuitive uh, person in general, to the point of it's like paranormal. Maybe a lot of people are aware of that. I have the most I can have the most profoundly deep relationships with everybody. Includes animals. My Pluto aspect allows that. See, I'm just letting you know. I don't know why I would talk about this stuff, but I would rather talk about this and then mention about how that I finally got it to where now I'm waiting for a response on my email to tell me something. They're gonna lead me through the process of regaining my Apple ID account. My For some reason, I didn't know my password, so and I have to align my phone number in order to get any of the PayPal, Cash App, or Vimeo, or I think this here on YouTube is you have to get Patreon. Get your Patreon, Patreon, and see, I'm not opposed to trying to get a feed that way. I have nothing coming from there. When I'm pointing out there, it's like, well, there's that backdrop system that does use Green Cash, and I'm pretty sure I can convert whatever comes through Patreon and all that into cash if I really needed to. And the thing is, it's like, it's weird. It's because I hardly, the way my life has ended up, it's like I just use the bank only for and money only for, no, I use it for, thanks for listening to this. Good God, people. Does she still have a pulse? No, I'm going into money now. I'm talking about it. I use it to get toilet paper, right? I needed to get toilet paper and my special soaps, and stuff that doesn't poison us. When I say special soaps, I'm just like, guys, you gotta stay away from that stuff that's poisoning your fucking skull, through your skull and your head and your hands and everything. See, the type of stuff I'm using for my hair, the ants will kind of gather around and start eating it, if I don't keep it sealed up. And what else? Just little things like Neptune moving over your ascendant. It depends on who you are with that. See, I have this Venus in Virgo, which insists on communicating something Virgonian. And see, with the Neptune opposed my Virgo, it's been really tough because, well, it's a real lesson on a lot of things. I've been, God, I'll love to share it with you as we go. Um, I have leveled out my body and my mind through eating the right foods, and I'm now looking into how that some foods affects us in a certain way, and of course, it's our brains. It'll affect our brains. It keeps us in a fog, it can if you eat like the wrong processed foods. I think wheat is not good for. I know I've talked about this before, but and even just grains. There's something else we need to eat, and they've suggested crickets, and I am. It's like, you know what? That's probably the number one best non-toxic thing you could ever do. And I've seen it before. There was chocolate covered ants in the store one time, and then there's a gas station over at the place over there. I think it's still there. They're selling crickets in a package, and I think they're like, oh, some of them are candied crickets. Anyway, thanks for listening. I am an artist, talking about that Neptune thing again. See, and I tried to talk about this in my last video. Any of my older friends, like say the ones that know me more than 25 years, they're artists too, by the way, and they know how it's like for if we don't do our art, we're slowly dying. If we're going crazy, we're going insane. And why aren't we doing our art? Well, that's like a form of self-harm. And why would somebody do self-harm or sabotage? It's because they're around and being influenced by, I say it's because they're influenced by the loveless and or godless society who it's just the same that they're not around, I would say artists, but really it's meditator. Ultimately, your art form, which ultimately is your entire life, and it doesn't have to be just this from cradle to the grave illusion. You have one life, and that's what meditation is here for, to dial you in on that one life that is the living body of hallelujah, baby. Christ lives now. And then so take a deep breath, deep divers, if you have a set of lungs right now. Woo! We don't know what that is we're breathing in, but I call it electricity. If you've ever got into it, a little tiny bit like got into your body. And it's not just the narcissist that will bring on a whole lot of inflammatory disease and disease itself, but you have Elon Musk putting the fucking 600,000, 6,000, 60,000 satellites up for what? So that you can get clearer Netflix and everybody can have a clearer gist on reality itself? I doubt it. What is reality, babes? Did you find the one word that will describe reality? Because you have, in fact, you've got a grip, just like Thich Nhat Hanh or Maharaji or Osho or Bhagwan Shra Maharamanapaharameshrashi, or just Shauna over here, the clown that is like, boy, I'm stationed in the West and I've got pretty good grip, and there is nothing but people insane around me who says, nope, you sure don't, while they're caking the place with toxicness all around, just toxic, baby. Woo! And then they come running after you. No money, no money, no money. Puh!